Hi, I'm David Harry, and in this video I'm going to be testing a Behringer XM8500 Ultravoice microphone to see if it is quite possibly the best, cheapest budget microphone that you can buy for vlogging and podcasting. Okay, so the point of this video then is just to do one specific thing with this microphone, and that is exactly what I'm doing with it right now, and that's to set it up in this position for doing things like vlogging, podcasting, or any other thing that you might want to do, say game reviews or any like picture-in-picture stuff, anything where you don't mind the microphone being in shot like this. And this really is typical of a lot of YouTubers and how they vlog. So this will give you a really good idea as to how this microphone sounds. So what I'm going to do first of all is just go over exactly what I'm using and the technical specs of the microphone. And then as I'm doing that, it's going to give you a really good idea as to how it sounds. Then also what I'm going to do is do a quick A/B against this and a very expensive shotgun microphone, just so we can do some really unfair comparisons. Okay, so basically, there's four components to this setup because it's not just the microphone, because you do need various bits and pieces in order to get the microphone plugged into your camera. Oh, the other thing that's also worth mentioning here is I'm not using any external preamp. I'm not using a sound card, nothing like that. This is the microphone going direct into the camera. So this is kind of like the easiest way to connect the microphone and also the cheapest way of doing it as well. Okay, so let me just go over a couple of things here. I've actually got some pages open on Amazon. Right, the microphone right now costs £18.99. The scissor stand that I'm on, although this scissor stand I'm using has got a suspension cradle on, but you can get one with just a normal mic clip on, which is perfectly fine. That's £6.99. The next component would be the pop shield, which when you're this close to a microphone, you should really use at least a foam pop shield, because it'll help reduce the plosives and all like the P's and the B's and wind noise that comes out of your mouth when you're this close to a mic. So that's £1.10. And also then a cable. And in my particular scenario, my camcorder has a 3.5mm stereo jack input for the microphone connector. So what I'm using is an XLR to 3.5mm jack cable. And right now, one of them will set you back a whole £3.39. So just quickly, top of my head, you're probably just a little bit over £30 for all of that equipment. But most importantly is the microphone. Now, okay, so a bit of technical stuff about the mic. It's a dynamic mic, and it also has what's called a cardioid pickup pattern. Now, just a quick brief about them two things. A dynamic microphone, without going into too much detail, basically it doesn't require power. It generates its own voltage through it, the way its capsule works. It's basically a magnet and a coil interacting, which generates the sound. As a consequence, they're generally not as sensitive as a powered microphone, say like a condenser or an electret, say like a lavalier or something like that, or a studio condenser or a shotgun. They tend not to be as sensitive. But I'll get onto this in a minute. That's actually quite possibly a massive bonus, especially for me right now in this room, and quite possibly for a lot of other people. And the other thing is, it's got what's called a cardioid pickup pattern, which is its polar pattern description. And all that really means is that this microphone, where it picks up best, or its sweet spot, is kind of right in front of it here. Now, because of them two things, its sensitivity with it being a dynamic, and the fact that it's a cardioid, you do have to get quite close to them. But in this particular scenario, it's a massive help, because this room is it's got like its own little acoustics in here, which can kind of get in the way of certain microphones. It's also got a computer in here with a number of fans in. Granted, it's my edit system computer, so the fans are quite quiet, but nonetheless, the noises. In fact, actually, I've got two USB drives actually attached at the moment, spinning away, because I'm doing a massive backup as well. So there's a fair bit of noise. And like most people, I live by places where there's noises. Do you know what I mean? And right now, there's a chippy just outside my window with one of the noisiest fans out the back of it. So right now, this room is really not the most ideal place to be recording dialogue at this time of day. But because of the way that this microphone, its characteristics are for its pickup pattern and its sensitivity and its placement, massively helps, do you know what I mean? So one, we're knocking out a lot of the room acoustics, or a lot of the way the room sounds. We're knocking out a lot of the sound of the computer, and we're also knocking out a lot of the sound that's coming in from outdoor. So what this really does is give us like a really nice clean sound. And what we'll do, we'll see how well that is shortly when I A/B it against another microphone as well. So like I say, them basic technical characteristics of this microphone are like, you know, maybe the reason why I reckon it's definitely the best, cheapest vlogging mic. And I think by now you'll also will kind of like have got a good gauge of how it sounds. You know, do I sound clear on it? Is there tons of hiss behind me? You know, these are all the things that you have to kind of bear in mind when you're doing vlogging, because you need your dialogue to come across really clean and clear. And like I say, the other thing as well with this one, I'm not using a preamplifier, so there's less stuff to have to be bothered about technically to plug it into before it goes into your camera. And also that means a reduced cost. Now don't get me wrong, a preamplifier could be brilliant for certain scenarios, but right now I don't particularly need that the way that this is set up, and I'm fairly sure you can hear that as well. It sounds fine being plugged straight into the camcorder. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to flip over to another microphone and do quite possibly the most unfairest test in the world. Okay, so I've now switched over to a Sennheiser MKH60 shotgun microphone, just so I can do like the most unbalanced A/B test I've ever done with microphones. In fact, there it is here. So that's what it looks like. It's you know, it's a proper shotgun mic. Let me just get that back out of shot again. Okay, so the reason why I've put this on is because this microphone costs somewhere in the region of like, say, I don't know, £1,300 to £1,500. And, you know, I'm going through a huge extreme here just so that we can kind of like get a gauge of like, you know, really how, you know, the value of that Behringer. Now, the other thing as well with this microphone, it's way more sensitive than the Behringer. It's got a much better frequency response. Its SPLs are better. In fact, every single thing about this microphone is better. But is it better in this particular scenario? So, you know, you're hearing this now. You've just heard me talk for a bit, you know, using the Behringer. So this will just give you an idea, although a very unfair idea, of like what a lot of money sounds like compared to like not a lot of money. So what I'll do now, I'll do the count test and then a bit of silence. And what we'll do, as we listen between the two microphones with the silence, although this one will be inherently more quieter, so therefore less hissy within itself, let's see what it's going to be like for picking up the extra noises in the room, which the Behringer didn't pick up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, yes, so that was the most unfairest microphone kind of like A/B I've probably ever done. But I think it's going to give people a really good idea as to, you know, what the differences are. And also the thing with this mic, let me just do a quick off-axis test. And what off-axis is, it just means when you kind of move outside of the ideal kind of pickup area for the microphone. So I'll just move out the way over here a little bit and do a bit of a talk. I'll kind of lean back here as well and talk over here. I'll also talk over here as well. In fact, to tell you what else I'll do, I'll just do a quick kind of directional test here. So I'm going to click my finger in front of the mic. what it is, I would talk behind the microphone, but it means lifting it all up and bending it around. So I'm going to click my finger in front of the mic and then behind it, and we'll see how far it rejects the sound as it moves around. Okay, so all them characteristics there and all them examples and listening to it A/B against something that costs like nearly £1,500 more than it should give you a really good idea. In fact, actually, just one other thing I've just remembered. I actually follow somebody on YouTube who actually uses this type of scenario to great effect. Now, he uses a different microphone, but this chap, his name's Kevin Muldoon. I'm going to leave I'll leave the link to his channel in the descriptions below. Go and check him out for somebody who does proper serious tech vlogging using a similar setup, because I'm not so much of a vlogger. I wouldn't have thought. I kind of like do more review stuff, but if you want to see somebody who does it brilliantly and actually uses a setup like that, go and check out Kevin's channel. And that's actually one of the reasons why I did this, because I was watching some of Kevin's stuff earlier on, and to be honest, I was sitting there and thinking, why don't I do what he does and use a microphone like this? Do you know what I mean? Which is one of the reasons why why I've decided to do this little quick video. Anyway, so check out Kev's channel. It's brilliant. And yeah, I think I've talked myself out like I normally do, and I've had to like reel myself in because I just go on and don't know when to shut up. Okay, so that's about it for this anyway. So the only thing that remains for me to say is thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.